Hi YouTube! So I'm finally here to make another video, and what I want to talk about today is our vacation fail, which you can probably see that from the title. We just went on vacation last weekend, and it was our first family vacation of 4. We actually haven't gone on many vacations even as a family of 3, just because money's always tight. I mean, vacations are expensive. But I ended up getting a good deal. It was like a customer appreciation week in Cape May. So everything was 50% off. So I figured this is the perfect time to do a kind of a trial run, because we would hope to take a week-long vacation in the summer, maybe the end of summer. And we kind of want to see how it would go. I planned this 3 months ago. So at the time, Sean was not 2 yet. But he was behaving very well, so I thought, okay, older he gets, the easier it's going to get. So in 3 months, if he's being good now, he should be better then. Well, I guess terrible twos decided to kick in strong. So about 3 weeks before we leave for vacation, he's just been grump. I mean, I can't explain any other way that he's just grumpy. I think he's just, bored, and because he plays with all his toys, plays with me, but we need to get out more. But in my area, there's just not really a lot of options. He doesn't like to go for walks and strollers. Story time is him running around, not listening to the story. So, anyways, I want to get back to the vacation stuff. So, I started feeling, oh God, he's going to be horrible for vacation. And I was right. So, we left on Friday morning, and we packed the car up. I had plenty of snacks. Our van actually has a DVD player that we never use. It's only really for a special long trip vacations, because I mean, around my town, it only takes half an hour at the most to get somewhere we need to go. So I never put a movie in for that. So I put that on. Well, not right away, but when he started fussing, he didn't care. It would hold his attention for a little bit, but that was it. Even music, he loves music. He would maybe, we listened to Gundam Style, because that's like his favorite song. But if we dance or sing, he would get mad. So it was just like everything he was just getting irritated about. And then it would irritate us. Luckily, the vacation, it's, only about, it was like 4.5, 5 hours. So I wasn't, I figured if he's bad, it's not like a 10-hour trip. But anyway, so we get there. We had to get on a ferry to get there. And, on the ferry, oh, you ripped your book. Mommy had to fix that later, okay? We had to get on a ferry, and the ferry is like an hour and 20 minutes. So he was running around. He doesn't want to hold your hand. He doesn't want to be held. He just wants to sprint. And, even though the ferry has, the bars and stuff, my worst fear is him falling over this boat into the, I think it's the bay or the ocean. I don't know what it is. So it's like terrifying, and then the boat's rocking, and so it's like I don't have sea legs at all, so it's like I'm losing my balance. It just was not pleasurable. I tried to get food on the ferry so he would eat. He wouldn't eat anything. That's a new thing too. He is basically he's on the hunger strike. He only wants to eat what he wants to eat, so he became picky and doesn't want to eat certain things, and and it's frustrating. So we get off the ferry, we drive. It's really close when you get off the ferry to Cape May. So he finally falls asleep when we get off the ferry. I know you're trying to talk too, but it's only 15 minutes to our hotel. So of course he falls asleep. So I ended up getting him out of the car into the room without him waking up. And I was like, sweet, at least he can get a nap. It was later in the day than I'd want him to take a nap, but any nap is better than no nap. So we get in, he's still asleep. My husband, James, he laid down too. Me and Shay unpacked. I never unpack in a hotel. I always live out of my suitcase or bag or whatever I bring. I never unpack stuff because it's a pain in the butt. But I actually unpacked. I figured it would be easier because we'd all have separate drawers and finding stuff. So me and Shay did that. The boys were still sleeping, so we and her decided to go exploring and look around the hotel. I guess pretty much as soon as we left, someone had walked by our room, was really loud, and woke up Sean. So me and Shay were only gone maybe 20 minutes. I come back and Sean's screaming because someone woke him up. And this is when we first noticed that there was going to be a problem with this hotel because the walls are like paper thin. The door doesn't even shut correct, like all the way. You can see light around the whole door. So you can hear everything. And the way our room was set up, everybody had to walk by it. So you had to like walk up this ramp into these glass doors, and instead of having multiple glass doors open, they only had the one, which was one door down from ours. So the people had to walk right past our door. So it was just frustrating. Anyways, he wakes from his nap. I'm like, okay, well, let's just go get something to eat, an early dinner. So we get in the car, we drive around looking. We don't know where we want to eat. Finally, we find a place, stop there, and he throws a fit right before we walk in. I mean, throwing himself onto the concrete kind of tantrum for no reason. Still don't know what happened. So we calm down and we're like, oh great, this restaurant barely has any people in it. It's super quiet. It was like a diner. So you would think it's like, you know, kid friendly, but there's only like 4 people eating and it's like silent. And so I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. So he doesn't have anything to do with eating. He's playing with his crowns or throwing them pretty much. Throwing his silverware. He didn't want to eat any of the food that we got him, but he ate James's chicken noodle soup. But it's just like nothing was helping him. So basically we stuff our faces. James took Sean out to go run around in the parking lot while I waited for the bill to pay and get out of there. And that's just like, what else did we do? We went and we decided, okay, let's do something fun. Let's like burn out his energy, because my whole thing that I was worried about vacation was that he wouldn't fall asleep, because we have a pretty, like, he has a very structured day, you know, not structured, but scheduled day. And I knew it was going to throw off the whole day, but I was trying to maybe tire him out for nighttime so that even though we weren't in the comfort of our home, that he would still fall asleep. So we went to the boardwalk. We went to go look to see if we could find him like some floaty wings or a inner tube for the indoor pool, because I have one, but I left it at my sister-in-law's house and I didn't, you know, it's just spring started. I don't even know where it is in their pool stuff, so I don't even want to ask and have them have to pull out all their stuff. We can't find anything of those, of course, because none of the shops that are open are the ones that we need, you know. But we stopped and got some fudge. We, you know, went to the arcade and he had a ball. I mean, as soon as he saw the lights and stuff, he was so excited. He ran around, played games. And at the end, I'll insert some pictures too if you want to see them. But he had so much fun, and we ran around on the boardwalk, hoping it would tire him out. And then I guess we drove around some more. I don't know what we did. I think we drove around, and then we ended up heading back to the hotel to kind of calm down. It was probably around 7:30, and that's when he usually goes to sleep at home. That's when we started the bedtime. So I stuck him in the tub. He didn't want to stay in the tub. Usually I can't get the boy out of a tub. He was in it maybe 2 minutes and then was out. Then we got in our pajamas. We all kind of like laid down. I have a picture of the room to show you, but it's just like the 2 beds. We're going to put his pack and play in the middle. Even though he sleeps in the toddler bed, we figured the pack and play would give him his own little space. And we had all his blankets from home, his Yo Gabba Gabba sleep mat, and his pillow, everything from home, all of his toys. And so, sorry, he's going to play with toys now. So we thought that would be fine, but it turned out not to be fine. Yeah, tell him. Say, I didn't want to go nap. Yeah, say no sleep for me. No sleep for me. He didn't want to sleep, nothing. So it's like, I don't know what to do at this point, because he goes to sleep in his room at home. So, you know, we tuck him in, or we do the good night book, which we did there. We tuck him in, and then we walk out the room and shut the door. He doesn't fuss, doesn't bite it. You know, he sits in his bed and plays with his toys, and he goes to sleep. I mean, it's simple. But there we didn't have a room for him to put him in and shut the door. And then all around is so loud. So I guess I was under the impression that I was going for like a family weekend. I actually went up to Cape May before the exact same time during Customer Appreciation Weekend, and all there was like old people. Like, there was no partiers. There was no nothing. So that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a very low-key weekend. Maybe us being the ones making the most noise because we had children. Hopefully there was more children there, because children stayed free at the hotel during this week. basically expecting people like us or older people, not people coming there to party. Which, again, I have no problem with you people doing that, because if I didn't have kids, I'd be going out to party too. But it gets a little disrespectful when people are standing outside your door drunk, having conversations. And then when we checked it, I told the lady, she's like, well, you should have called the people, like, and then we would have came and told them to leave, like, leave by your door, not leave the hotel. But by the time that one person would leave, then another one came. And like I said, the walls were paper thin that you could hear the smacking of flip-flops. You know, it was just like so loud. So I'm getting frustrated. We all like turn off the light, the TV's off. Shay fell right asleep. Poor thing. I'm like, just be quiet so Sean will fall asleep. You don't have to go to bed. She's like out snoring, and we're all jealous because we want to be sleeping too. Finally, by 10:30, and this is the latest this boy has ever stayed up. And mind you, on only maybe a half an hour nap. This is all he had. He's still wide awake. So I put him in the van and drive. And by the time I get to the end of the street, he's freaking asleep. So I just turn back around. I get him out, like, you know, hoping and praying that I can get him from the car to the room, still asleep. Of course, there's people on the third floor balcony, like, partying and, like, laughing. And, you know, I feel like a terrible mother because I'm walking outside at 10:30 at night with a baby. I mean, he's not a baby, but he's a toddler. Like, whatever. I mean, I know people have to do this to get their kids to sleep, but it's like, it made me feel like a terrible mother because I'm like, why is my kid up at 10:30 at night? So anyways, I get him in, he sleeps, but then we try to go to bed because we don't want to turn the TV on. We don't want to go to the bathroom. I mean, at this point, any fear of, thank you, waking him up is just not cool. So we go to bed, but I didn't fall asleep till 1 in the morning because of people partying, walking by the door. I mean, there was even like a kid at like 11 o'clock freaking out because he can't find his dad, running up and down the hall. Mom, dad. And I'm like, I feel bad for you, kid, but I'm not going to open my door because our door also was like every time you opened it. So it's like we couldn't do anything. So next morning he's up, you know, crack ass of dawn, and we decide that there's no way we were doing this for a second night because that was terrible. So we decide that we're going to spend the day there, but then leave, catch the last ferry, back, you know, home. So, should we go? Well, the day starts off just like it was the other day. So it's like breakfast, he barely eats, he's throwing his food, throwing a tantrum. Luckily it was a complimentary breakfast, so we didn't pay for it because the kid only wanted to eat everything that we didn't put on his plate, you know. So, you know, we ended up getting out of there, and, sorry this video is going to be super long. You know, we decided that we're going to go walk around the square. We can't find parking. The old people there, there was old people there just at our hotel, were like cutting us off. Like, I guess, you know, they get old. First of all, most people should be on the road. Still at some of these ages these people are driving. But I mean, they're like cutting me off, like going around me at stop signs. I mean, it was crazy. And they can just do whatever they want. I guess they're old and they don't care. But, can't find parking, can't do anything. Sean's crying. And it's like, I looked at James and I'm like, you know what, we're leaving. Of course, this makes Shay cry because she, you know, she's been a good girl. She wants to have a vacation, but I mean, I just couldn't take it anymore. It was like, he's screaming, there's no parking, we can't do anything. He doesn't want to sit in a stroller. He wants to run, but he doesn't want to hold your hand. I mean, I went to the extent as I bought one of those backpacks for kids that has the damn leash on it. I used to make fun of those parents who got those, and I couldn't even put it on them. I couldn't even use it because I was so damn embarrassed that my kid has to be one of those kids that has to be leashed, but he won't hold your hand. So anyways, he doesn't care. We just catch the ferry and we head home. Thankfully, after the ferry, well, we stayed in the car most of the ferry ride this time because we didn't want to deal with him running around. But we ended up getting out maybe like a half an hour before land. And he was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. And then he fell asleep right after the ferry, and he slept for a good hour and a half. We were able to stop at like one of those like gas stations that have like food, like a Wawa. I don't know if you have a Wawa, but like you can do like order from the little deli stuff. Anyways, we got some, you know, chicken sandwiches for the go, and we kept on moving. We got home, really good time, and I have never been so happy to see my house and be home. I am in my house pretty much 24/7 because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I go here and there, but it costs money to go places. Thank you. So, you know, for me, this was going to be, like, awesome because I'd be out of my house. No, it was hell. It was hell. Like, we don't think we're going to go at the end of summer. I mean, it might be better by then, but it's just, so we don't think we're going to be going on vacation anytime soon. I would hope that things would get better with him. I mean, he's just at that age where he's, you know, going through all the emotions of, you know, anger, sad, happy, juice. I mean, he's 2 years old. You know, Shay wasn't this bad too, but you know, every child's different. He is very much of a handful, and it's just not going to work for us vacation. So, to me, I felt like I prepared. I felt like I packed enough snacks for the car. I brought things from home. I think maybe our downfall is that we don't go a lot of places. I mean, we really don't even go out to eat that much, just because of money. And, you know, at the restaurant, you don't know if you have to wait for food. And, you know, home, it's like, well, I can make food when we're ready. So we don't go out to eat much. We don't go anywhere. We've never gone. I think that we stayed at one place, and that was his parents' house during a hurricane, but he was like a baby. So he doesn't remember that. So maybe that's our downfall, that, you know, we don't go many places. We don't stay many places, that he's just so used to home. But he's a homebody. I mean, even there, you know, he would be acting up, and I'm like, you know, do you want to go home? And he's like, I want a home. And it's like, poor kid just wants to go home. So we were very, very happy once we got home. I will admit, as soon as I got home and pulled in this driveway, I went into my garage and cracked open a Mike's Hard Lemonade, because at that point I needed a drink. It was hell. But he was happy to be home. We had someone house sit for us. They were here. So they ended up hanging out with us. Sean and Shay got to run around outside. And we just had actually a good time, a good Saturday. We grilled. It was just nice to be home. But I guess what I wanted to share my experience. I have no tips. So you might have some tips maybe you can give me for the next vacations. Like I said, I thought I prepared for this and packed, you know, everything. I mean, I overpacked. And I just think it was just a comfort thing for Sean that didn't happen. So that is our failed vacation. A waste of money. Thankfully, it was 50% off, so I didn't spend a whole lot, but still, it was not fun. So if you have any advice, please leave it below. And I'm hoping to get back into making videos, and I'll post some pictures now of our vacation. Don't have many because we didn't do pretty much anything. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.